It's nice to see you in a different space this week. I am so excited about tonight's concert, and so pleased to introduce our pre-concert speakers, conversationalists. From right here at home, we have the illustrious Dr. Caroline Buff, choral scholar, singer, just an all-around amazing human. And here we have Senor Jorge Lozano, and he is the music director of Cantoría and also the tenor. He directs a music festival in his hometown of Murcia, Spain. And he and I met a year and a half ago? Yeah. A year and a half ago in Montreal, and I dreamed about this day. Honestly, no, it was like immediate. I want these people here, and I'm so honored and so pleased. And thank you so much. Take it away.
So thank you, Suzanne. Well, as Suzanne mentioned, this is such a great pleasure for us to have Cantoría here, all the way from Spain, and we've been looking forward to this as the members of the board of the Bloomington Early Music Festival for a while now, and so it's just really amazing we finally have you here. Now, Jorge, this is your U.S. debut, is that right?
Yes. Hello, everybody. Hi. Is it on?
Is it on? You just speak
Now
it.
it's on.
Yes.
Yeah, great. Hello, buenas tardes. I hope you understand my English properly. We are so happy to be here. Thanks a lot for coming. Thanks a lot to Suzanne and all her team for inviting us, for fighting that we are here with all the production and all the visa things and everything. And yeah, it's our first time singing in the US. I was visiting the US before, but not singing, so it's a very nice opportunity.
So tell me about Cantoría. How did you meet, and what brought you all together?
We are a Spanish vocal quartet, and we met at the music school like 7 years ago, I think. We were students, and we wanted to sing Monteverdi music. We wanted to sing Monteverdi madrigals with the seconda practica and all these feelings, and put it into the music and the text being important and all this Monteverdi spirit. And then there was a teacher who's specializing in medieval music. It's called Pedro Memesdorf. He's from Argentina, and he has a very nice group called Mala Pública. And he told us, it's very nice that you can sing Monteverdi, but you should do Spanish music. So if you want to succeed in Europe, and maybe later in the US, you have to specialize in your own repertoire. So we started to work on Spanish secular music, so not sacred music like today. Some of them are a bit sacred, and we can speak later about that, but we try to translate or transport, sorry for my mistakes in the language, we try to transport all this seconda practica. Do you know what I mean with seconda practica? Monteverdi said,
yes, it's the period in which there was a change in the way that harmony was perceived. So you could have a melody where the words were really, really important, and all of the harmony below it was very vertical and kind of supporting that melody, as different from, say, Palestrina, like counterpoint,
exactly.
Right, which is the first practice. Yes.
Exactly, and the point that I'm interested in Seconda Practica, Palestrina is from the Concilio de Trento. How do you say that in English?
Council of Trent.
Yes. So so there was no, let's say, the most important thing about music and harmony was to praise God, and there could be no human sounds or human feelings in that. And then Monteverdi in the north, in Venice, he said, no, music has to. He said somehow in his letters and his publication, I think the 8th book we find. I don't remember exactly which one. I think it's
the
introduction, exactly. That the music has to serve the text, so the music can have feelings, and if the harmony is wrong in order to serve the text, that is all right. So what we try is to use this music that we sing from Spanish 1 century before, but what the music is serving the feelings and translated to the through this century, the music is serving the communication with the audience. So music is feelings and it's telling something. So we'll try to sing with the text, with a natural voice, and that was the creation of Cantoría.
That sounds really fabulous. A wonderful story of how you came together and how you came to this. Now, so for American audiences, we might need a little history lesson.
Yeah.
So let's take them back together to 1492. Now, in the United States, we know the story of Christopher Columbus being commissioned by Ferdinand and Isabella to go westward and explore. But 1492 in Spain has another part of its history, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit? Because it relates to some of the pieces you're going to sing tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Now we try to work on the concept called three cultures, the tres culturas in Spain. There was a certain moment in Spanish history, mostly, for example, with Alfonso X el Sabio. I think there was some cantina played in this.
Yes, Alfonso Sabio, Alfonso X.
Exactly. That they could live together in the same city and work together even in Toledo. But unfortunately, it was not like that with the Catholic kings, and they were very obsessed with the pure of blood and the religion, and they used also the church for political reasons. And as a lot of times in history, they sent it in 1492, and then after also the ones that were convert to Catholicism, they sent it away. So they prohibited the Sephard, so the Jews that were living in Spain were the
Sephardic Jews,
exactly,
yes.
And the Muslims with the conqueror of Granada away. Yeah.
Yes. And so some of the texts that are on the program tonight refer to this culture before this sort of purification, if you will, of Spain, right? Where you have some texts that reference a beautiful Moorish woman, for instance, or the three names, right? Asha and Fatima and Marianne, which are Muslim, women, right?
Exactly. Yeah, so there's also in the Cantoría Palacio, as you know, because there were the parade this year, there's some songs referring to the Muslims and also referring to the Jewish, and even songs written from by them or for them. So Cantoría Palacio is a kind of link, despite of the political unfortunate history, the songs are still a link through these cultures. Oh, and there's also, of course, songs, for example, celebrating the conqueror of Granada.
Yes.
So we will sing today two love songs for Morillas, for these Moorish girls. But then also a song where the Moors are seen as the rapists or bad people, so racist songs. We will sing the first one, Aquella Mora Garrida, and then Unos Años a Porfía, which is the celebration of the conquer of Granada, which has been used afterwards for the nationalism in Spain in a lot of bad ways.
Although I might say that this beautiful song is Unos Años a Porfía, which is sung from the perspective of the conquered Sultan of Granada, but it's sung in a very respectful way in some ways, right? He's depicted as somewhat noble, and he describes the beauty of the place around him, and then he gives some praise to the king, coming as a lion, right? And he says, the great lion has come, and I have to kind of capitulate to this new space. It's sad and yet very beautiful in its own way.
I don't know, but I don't believe that he wrote that.
Well, yeah.
It's the Christians writing.
No, he did not
how
write
he
it,
said that
yes,
how good the Catholics were. Yeah.
But it does depict them in a sort of a beautiful way. Right?
Yeah, with respect.
Very respectful.
Yeah.
It's very, very beautiful. So this is quite an interesting history, as I say, this kind of really important year of 1492 with, and I say, Ferdinand and Isabella were the kings and queens. They unite Spain from these two kind of separate kingdoms of Castile and Aragon. Now, their grandson, Charles V, also is has an important role to play in all of this.
In all this concert, yeah. This question of uniting Spain also has been used, and we also use the term Reconquista, and now it's being replaced by Conquista, because as you know the Muslims were 800 years in Spain, So, and a lot of cities like my own town were founded by them. So what can you reconquer if there was nothing before? It's a kind of a political rethinking on these concepts. Yeah, I think Charles V was the first king to receive a together crown, because with the Catholic kings it was separated. Yes. And we are singing some of the ensaladas, we can talk about that.
Yes, exactly.
Composed for Charles V.
That's right. And Charles V is also interesting because he not only is the King of Spain, but he then becomes, he inherits the whole, well, sort of, he has to be elected, but he inherits the Holy Roman Empire as well. So through his father, who is the son of a Holy Roman Emperor, Maximilian, then Charles V, it becomes this ruler of almost all of Europe. It's quite remarkable. Kind of, especially we have Spain that becomes kind of part of this greater European culture.
Totally. A lot of musicians came to Spain. I think it's the golden age for music in Spain. Like all these Franco-Flemish composers came to work in the chapel, and the culture that they brought. Of course, the Spanish nobles. They were angry because the king didn't speak Spanish at the beginning, so it was kind of weird. But it was culturally one of the, at least for music, one of the best moments, because a lot of money was invested in that, and there was a lot of appreciation because of actually with the Catholic kings also, there was good music. And with Charles V and Philip II, his son, was,
that's an important
golden age, as we were speaking yesterday.
So let's talk a little bit about some of the music. So you mentioned the Cancionero Palacio. What is the Cancionero Palacio, and who is kind of part of that?
The Cantoría Palace is a book, a very large book with around 450 songs, and it was found in the library of the palace, of the royal palace in Spain. And it was like 200 years ago, more or less. It was the revival of all this Spanish music, and it was written by a musicologist called Barbieri, also a composer. And it contains a lot of music. Very beautiful. It comes from the medieval times. It's like the transition from medieval composers, like late medieval Cornaro and all these guys, until the Renaissance, the pure Renaissance, like Juan de la Encina. And so you can see all these transitions and how also the society was changing and more interested, for example, in pastoral. You see pastoral? In like separate stories and love songs. So it's very beautiful. It's quite simple music, so it's not like just canned songs or this kind of Franco-Flemish with a lot of counterpoint. More the text is more important. It's like poetry. This is Juan de la Encina music. It's poetry just put with very simple music. Sometimes that was improvised at that time. And Juan de la Encina just, so you can also with Cantoría Palacio you can see how the improvisation of music was at that time, because it's written.
And these songs are mostly in Spanish.
There's a lot of languages, mostly Spanish, you're right, Castellano. We have also Occitan, which is a language almost lost from the south of France. Catalan, Gallego, from Galicia, where Santiago de Compostela is, and
Yes. And Juan de la Encina, of course, is a very important composer. And you put in one genre that we kind of associate with is called the villancico. So what is a villancico and how does that work? You mentioned it's very simple, but
villancico is the greatest. It's like the genre, the genre that was the most popular because it came from the villain, from the villanos, from the village
people. Yes.
Yeah.
The common people.
The common people. So villano, villancico. It's like for the nobility at this time, it was like kind of exotic to sing this music. So it became more and more famous, and it's like very simple music with quite simple structure. But it became very famous, and in the Baroque times, then it became with orchestra
And we actually, there's a long heritage of the villancico traveled with Spanish explorers who went around. They went to the Western Hemisphere, they went around Africa, and they ended in the Philippines. So the villancico went with them.
Yeah, in South America and in Latin America, there's a lot of nice music. And one of them is kept here, no? This Guatemala.
Yeah, this Guatemalan manuscript
Exactly.
that we sang from a couple of years ago here at the Belize Music Festival. And so we have the Hincico that travels, and then you mentioned this other, so a little bit later genre, but the ensalada, which is what your concert is, of course, titled is ensalada.
Yeah.
Now, so of course you might be all thinking a salad, and that's truly where that word comes from.
Yeah, ensalada is salad. It's a musical mixture of different ingredients. So musical ingredients, different rhythms, languages, and popular songs. So also for the ensaladas, it's very nice because you can listen the popular music that was sung in that time. But they Flecha took it and harmonized. Harmonized, right? This is English? Good. So it's the ensaladas are small political stories with political and religious messages. So it's a kind of theatrical songs. So all our concert is a bit of an ensalada because the theme of this year is also quite political and the songs are very religious. So we will build kind of a theatrical story, let's say.
And each of those enchiladas have kind of like interesting names, right? So like we have I like this La Bamba. Now many of you might remember there was a popular song, La Bamba, which you can understand that words too. But there was it was called La Bamba. It was a song in the like 50s, I think. It was like,
Really?
La Bamba. Okay.
La
60s,
Bamba.
but not La Bamba. But yes. But anyway.
But we have songs with La Bamba.
No, but this one is the pump, right? And so and this is about a fire that's. Or like kind of this emergency where they have to pump water off a ship, is that right?
Exactly, but if I tell it now, then
I have to get giving away
the concert. So you will have to stay for the concert to know about it.
Yeah, but they have some really fun titles. One of them, quite striking, and I'd love to address this before we leave the stage here, but this is this one song that is the song of a black woman. Right. And so one of the features I think of the ensaladas is they tend to have these kind of like places where there's a text where they might be shouting out, "Oh, emergency!" and they sing these kind of maybe nonsense, alarm bell or something. And she sings something very interesting in her text too. She has this sort of maybe an approximation of some sort of language or linguistic thing. She says and this sort of imaginary language, if you will.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was a woman or is this the name of the song, La Negrina? Because there was a sorry for this word.
Gender, yeah.
Gender?
Or genre.
Genre, this one.
Yeah.
Which is called negrillas.
Yes.
So they were songs mostly composed in the colonies, imitating and sometimes unfortunately ridiculization. How is this word? Ridiculization? Is this English? No. Ridiculizar.
Ridiculization.
Yeah. Is this English or is not English?
He knows the word.
So making fun of these languages of the black people coming from Africa and also from the indigenous.
So making up something that sounds what they think it sounds like.
Exactly. And Mateo Flecha, as far as we know, was not in Latin America. So the Maricarmen Gomez Montaner, who is the musicologist that was studying this music and that worked with us for our CD that you can find on the internet, by the way, ensaladas, very nice. She said that Mateo Flecha imitates the sound of the slaves that came, the indigenous people that came from South America to Spain at that time. And La Negrina, so I must rethink about that. I'm not sure if it's a black woman or it's just the name of
something
exactly, like Negrilla, Negrina, but anyway, it's a testimony of all these slaves that were taken from their country and brought to Spain at that time.
And we do know that we see images of some people that show up in the 16th century, so it's really quite interesting to find it here in this musical text as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we are probably getting close to it. And what's next for Cantoría? Are you going to do more singing here in the United States, or?
Yes, we are very lucky as we had this concert with this invitation. Then tomorrow we take a very early plane and we will go to New York, and then we have a concert in Pennsylvania, in Beacon Hill. And then on Monday we will go to New York to do tourism. And then we have another concert in Philadelphia. and then we fly back, and then we have a concert with Monteverdi Music in France, and then we have holidays for 1 week, but then this summer we will go to Germany, Utrecht.
Yeah, you have a busy summer, I see it with you, which is really wonderful. Well, you can see more of Cantoría on their website, which is very, very beautiful. They have recordings there you can see, and you can see what they've been up to and what's up next. I want to let you have time to prepare for the concert, so I want to say thank you so much. It was a really lovely conversation. I heard a teensy little bit of them singing earlier. This is a really beautiful program. I think you're going to really enjoy it. So thank you so much, Jorge, and we'll see you in just a few minutes.
Yeah, thank you. Enjoy.
I'm sorry.